Alright guys, if you see my videos, I live on 5 acres and there's lots of nice places to shoot out here. Real nice safe places to shoot, but my landlords have a problem with air guns and they put the kibosh on my shooting. So, in my depression, I dove into RCs again for the last 2 weeks instead of making air gun videos, and this is what I did. Anyway, this goes in here too, but this is crazy. Crazy stuff on this RC. I got a camera that transmits to my goggles so I can do this FPV and go really, really far away. Like, this guy probably goes like 500 yards at least. And then, check this out. Oh, I have to hook the battery up. Hold on. That right there is a voltage meter that's flashing right there. And you don't want your volts to get below 3.4 on a LiPo, but check this out. Whoa. That is so bright that I can take this out with... Oh yeah, look at this too. Got some bling bling under there as well. Anyway, woo! Then I can see how much my battery voltage is on my car right there. So that's cool too. Anyway, that's the baddest RC car in the universe, and that's nothing. I got another one that's about 6 times bigger than this, and we're setting that thing up to go 2-3 miles away with full video. So, in addition, I bought myself a Traxxas Aton. Really a cool drone. Now, this drone can be used as like a filming drone with a gimbal and a stabilized camera, or as a sport drone. So, anyone looking to get a first drone, these are only $2.99 now. Now, I went ahead and put an FPV camera on this. Of course, I ran it all through there, and I got a switch that turns the camera on and off. So, haven't even flown that yet. That right there is my Baker trigger for the Fortitude. So this right here is what you call a 1/10 size RC car. This one goes about 30 miles an hour. You can get these that go about 50 or even 70. But this right over here is his big brother. Now this right here is like as tall as a Coke can. The engines in here are like big old huge things like this. Now this is the really impressive one. Took my RC guy shop 6 months. Oh man. Woo. Anyway, it took him 6 months to build this, and that's because we put what's called Dragon Link in here. Here's that giant motor I was talking about. But this actually has a UHF signal. You technically need a ham radio license to drive this little guy, so this thing's all outfitted with the common name is Dragon Link, and Dragon Link is what you put on an airplane to make it go about 50 miles away. So we're hoping on the ground we'll still be able to get a few miles. So I'll be testing that in the future. And then this over here is one that I built when I was waiting for that one to be done, and it's all bling blinged out with some crazy lights and stuff. So those just sit on my shelf for now. The other thing I did with this one, to give it like lots of buttons, switches, and channels, so I could have all kinds of crazy stuff on here, turn it on and off. So my UHF long range system is bound to this crazy, it's like a $400 Futaba old school remote control. So I'll be driving this bad boy with one of these instead of one of those stupid little wheel things. And it also allows me to have like a bunch of different switches, so I can actually have 3 cameras on this and switch in between my cameras. I'll be able to like turn lights, horns, buzzers, anything I want on and off, you know, fully automatic electric airsoft guns, anything I want to mount on that bad boy. So looking forward to that. You guys want to see what FPV in a car looks like? There it is. So that's what I see pretty much out the windshield when I'm driving along. I can drive anywhere. I go to Walmart like 2 in the morning and just do the whole shopping center without losing my signal. A lot of fun. But now it's time to make an airgun video. So let's get this party started. Okay, one more thing, guys. Now, what makes that video, drone video, and the FPV is what they call that first-person view video possible is just this little $40 microchip right here. And this basically just grabs whatever $20 camera you got looking out, or even your GoPro, and shoots it out to a signal that you can grab, you know, from down the street or whatever. So we're going to use this right here and a couple of these little drone cameras with a cheap receiver. And for under $100, we're going to make a camera that you can put down at your target, have a screen back where you're shooting from, and you don't have to use a stupid spotting scope. You sit there and just look at a screen and see where you hit from, you know, as far as you want, 200 yards away, whatever you want. Something else to look forward to on the Airgun channel. Alright guys, right here we got the Benjaman Fortitude. Comes in 177, 22 caliber. It's regulated, very accurate. I was getting 10 shots through the same dime size hole every time with JSB 14 grains and 18 grains. It does not like JSB 15 grains for some reason. Operates at 3,000 PSI, which is 200 bar. It has a quick disconnect fill probe right here. It's got baffles in here, shrouded baffled barrel, threaded right here if you want to put a further moderator on. It is stupid quiet. About 68 decibels, which is quieter than I'm talking right now. Normal conversations about 69 decibels. This thing's like 68 decibels every time, 66 even. Very, very quiet, backyard friendly right out of the box. I like it. One of the complaints people have is the trigger pull on it. So I believe it has about a 6-pound trigger pull. Let's find out. Okay, this right here is a Lyman electronic digital trigger pull gauge. And this was pretty cheap. I think maybe 35 bucks. This is one that was recommended to me by some guys in the Airgun forums. So anyway, I'm going to open this up, put some batteries in it, and test this baby out. If you want to see a sound test with a decibel meter, just watch one of my, I believe it's the second Fortitude review video, and it'll show you 66 decibels on that bad boy. Really amazingly quiet. I think it's the quietest airgun I've ever shot. So it says right here, this is the world's most accurate trigger gauge, so must be good. Alright guys, so it basically says hold this at a 90-degree angle, pull it, and a bunch of other good stuff. Nice, it comes in a super cool little case like that, so I'm all set. Alright, so this thing kind of like locks into place once you get it out. I guess you just go, or wait, you can lock it into place a couple different ways. There you go, like that. So when you're ready to measure your trigger pull, you just press the button to clear it. Huh. That's weird. My trigger's breaking at about 3 pounds. 4 pounds, actually. Now, they did do tests on this trigger. Crazy. So I'm breaking at 3 3/4 pounds, or about less than 4 pounds every time. Now, I put probably close to 1,000 rounds through this gun, so it could be that I wore the trigger down a little bit, and so it loosened up a bit. What? Alright guys, so I've done this about 10 times and I can't get over a 4-pound trigger pull on this. So I do know that these things have about a 6-pound, 5.5-pound trigger pull out of the box. But I had to do 500 rounds through this just to make the regulator settled so that it would do those half-inch groups at 35 yards. Before I did 500 rounds through this, it was all over the place. Right after my 500th round, it's tightened right up, and now it's super accurate. Anyway, I've shot probably 700, 800, maybe 1,000 rounds through this. So I pulled this trigger so many times that I guess it loosened up a little bit. So basically, I got a 4-pound trigger pull right now, but they do say the Baker Airgun Disco trigger upgrade is a really, really good upgrade. It's going to shave 2 pounds off that trigger. So let's put that thing in here and see how light I can get this baby. Okay guys, now you see the screw right here by the nanometer. It looks like that's pretty much the only thing that holds this stock on, but I do know from the forums that taking that screw out is not going to cut it. Southern Gunner has a great video apparently on how to take the stock completely off. I'm going to go ahead and watch that. It involves something about taking a spring out of here, getting the safety out, and then the thing will pull off. So go ahead and go watch some Southern Gunner. Be right back. There you go. Called the Benjaman Fortitude, the first full review. That'll tell you how to take your Benjaman Fortitude stock off. Ah, crap. I got a slow internet connection. It's really lame. Just one of the many small problems I have in my life. There we go. Now, one of the reasons that I love Southern Gunner is because he has this candy apple red gauntlet stock. Okay? So that's awesome. Now, the other reason I like him is because I watched a video where Donnie FL and the marketing director of FX Airguns were hanging out, and they were talking, and they were saying, Donnie FL was saying, yeah, I talk to Southern Gunner all the time on the phone, and then the FX guy is like, okay, well, we need to get some barrels out to different people, you know, so they can test them, their new slug barrels. But then I was watching Southern Gunner, and he said in a recent video that he doesn't test anything that he doesn't use himself. Like, if he's not going to buy a gun, he's not going to test it out. He's not going to take people's products and test them. And you'll notice that you don't see him testing any FX barrels on his site because he doesn't give a crap. So that's why I like him too. He can't be bought. All right, where's your sound, buddy? This is what it's like. It's like I'm living in the 80s with dial-up over here.
The safety right here on the trigger guard has to come out before you can even take the stock off the gun. If you look at this picture right here in the right-hand corner, you see that there's a little pin that's right here.
Oh.
Little
Cool.
pin inside the trigger guard right here that you have to put something behind that pin and push that pin forward first, and then the trigger will pull out. The safety will pull out, I'm sorry. And when you get ready to put it back in, you're gonna come in from the other side, push that pin back forward again, and slide it in. So
there you have it.
That.
Let's try that. Okay, guys. According to the Pioneer on the Fortitude, first guy to do the disassembly, there's a little pin right here. Yep, I do see it. Let me zoom in there. It's perfect. So according to Southern Gunner, there's a little pin. You can see it sticking out right there. So all I have to do is get something and pull that forward. I'm going to pull this out, and then when I get ready to slide it back in, I'm going to have to somehow get in there, and this little pin's going to end up like, it goes like that. It's going to end up clicking back there. I'm going to have to push it forward again and slide that in from the big side. You get a big hole on this side, small hole on this side. I'm going to pull it out that way. Let me just find myself a tool here. Oh my gosh, that was so easy, you guys. That was so easy. Alright, now I'm cleared for takeoff. Go ahead and pull this screw out, and I'll be all set. Alright, so I'm going to remove the screw right here. Alright, and we should be all set. I'll just wiggle this out. I can already feel it's kind of loose. Looks like this whole thing's just going to wiggle right out of the action here. Oh, cool. Very cool. There you have it. Take your stock off there. Alright, guys. I did get this for only like 29 bucks. Pretty good deal. Comes with some very small instructions, but luckily you just have to watch a video. I'll go ahead and read these with my magnifying glass. And I was surprised. It didn't come with any springs or anything. Just this one trigger piece. But I guess all the other springs you need are already in here. This is definitely going to be a big improvement over that plastic trigger, I'll tell you that. It's going to bling up my Fortitude a little bit too. Too bad it wasn't silver. You know what? I should hydro dip this in my new hydro dip kit, because I'm scared to hydro dip anything. I haven't tried it yet, but this is a perfect little piece. And then my trigger would look like it's carbon fiber. Yeah, never mind. So let me check out these instructions here. Okay, so it does say to pull the spring forward out of the housing away from the safety. Tells you how to do that. I don't think I would have been able to figure it out, though, just off that. I would have been looking for some little curly spring. Remove the barrel of action. We did that from the wood. They don't make the Fortitude in wood. Oh, anyway. Okay, this is for a Benjaman Crossman disco, I believe. Install the adjustment and over travel screws. Okay, I don't think I can handle this. Hold on. Okay, install the adjustment and over travel screws. I don't think I got any screws. Hopefully I didn't put them in there and lose them. Okay, so it looks like two little screws get this plate loose. It's pulling it straight up. Oh. Okay. Take a closer look here. So this right here apparently is the trigger. Now we need to remove the sear spring from the package over the lower set screw. I have no freaking idea what they're talking about. Oh, great. I have to rewind my own freaking tape. Hold on. Alright, guys, near as I can tell, you just leave that little spring sitting down in there. Put your trigger on, and you're going to put the pin through that little hole right there. Kind of lay it in there. That pin in there. Ooh, that's better. Okay, and then you go like this, and apparently that's it. Now it does mention some screws and all this other stuff, but Set the trigger adjustment screw and over travel screw to your need. Yeah, I think I lost the screws to this. So I guess I'm just going to seal this up, see what happens, and then I'll call Baker Airguns tomorrow and have them send me some new screws. But that's pretty much how it went in right there. Or how it came out, I should say. Okay, I got to line all this up here. You can see this hole right here has to go exactly. All the pinholes have to line up. There we go. So yeah, I just gave it a little wiggle and everything went right in. Okay, now when I'm tightening these screws, I am going to get them tight, but I'm not going to get them as tight as I can. So you can strip them out. Now you can see that spring that was in there, that's that spring that holds the safety in, so all I got to do is pop that forward after I get my stock on and slide the safety in from the side with the big hole. Okay, now I think where the two screws go that they were mentioning that I probably lost out of the package, which are the trigger adjustment screw and the over travel screw, they might go in these two holes. Yeah, they might go in those two holes and give you your adjustment there. So once again, I bought this kit, I opened it, I looked at it, and then I had it in all my junk, you know, going from box to box. And so obviously I must have spilled the screws out of there. So there's actually, you got to shove your nanometer all the way down this hole. It's a little difficult. I'm just going to real carefully fit this back over here. Oh, not too bad. Okay, you can see it slid mostly on there, but I still got a gap right here. So I need to wiggle this action around till it's all the way in there. Now, when you're doing this, don't be tugging on your barrel and shroud. Just tug on your tank and your action back here. So a little work, I got it right down there where it's supposed to be. It popped right in. This is actually the small hole side, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get that spring. We're going to slide this in this way from the big hole side, which is the opposite side, but I'm just going to try to catch that spring right there. Okay, that was super easy. It's not like a hard spring or anything. When I'm holding that, I'm going to slide the small end in the big hole. That was super easy. Okay, now let's check this out. It is pretty good. Definitely, it's really smooth on your finger. You see right there, you get that nice big gold blade right there. Very cool. Feels very, very good when you're pulling the trigger. So let's just... now, it did say that this was going to take this down to 3.5 pounds. So I was already at 3.9 pounds. I don't feel... It doesn't feel super light or anything. I definitely like it. But, you know, with that travel screw and adjustment screw, maybe you can make this even lighter. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably you put that thing in, let's say you could make your trigger like that, so you just pop it right off. Anyway, really, really cool. So you can see how easy that went in. That's the Baker Airguns Disco Trigger Upgrade. And let's just check out the trigger pull. Hold on. There we go. We're all tight. All tight right now. Let's check out that trigger pull. Oh, wow. So it did shave 2 pounds off my trigger. Now, they had said when you first get the Fortitude, it's 5.5 pound trigger pull. That's what Baker Airguns says and everybody else said. Now, when you put this in a brand new Fortitude, it's going to bring you down to 3.5. Now, when you wear in your Fortitude, which I did, now I'm down to 2 pound trigger pull. So basically, whatever your trigger pull happens to be on your Fortitude, it's going to shave 2 pounds off it. Oop, I got to cock it. Wow, this is not messing around. So that's under 2 pounds. Holy crap, me likey. So my thing is going at 1 pound 13 ounces pretty much every time. Oh, that's awesome. So I got like a 1.5 pound trigger pull now. So I'm not going to do anything to my trigger adjustment. I'm not even going to order those screws. I'm just going to stick with my 1.5, 1 3/4 pound trigger pull. Stick a scope back on this bad boy and go shoot some super kick-ass groups at 30 and 55 yards. Definitely, I'm going to do some accuracy testing with the Baker Airguns trigger. Leave a link in the description where you can order that. And that'll be my last video on the Fortitude, which will be a 50 yard, 35 yard, maybe even 75 yard accuracy testing, where we're just going to shoot the crap out of this and see how good a groups we can get. So I'm so glad I put this Baker trigger in here. I was intimidated. I was worried. You know, I've never done any kind of gun work or trigger work before. So that went lickety split smooth. I'm really glad. So thumbs up on the Baker Airguns trigger upgrade for your Fortitude. First thing you need to order, $29. Do it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.